In a perfect world, sharing localhost should be easy, but somehow it turns into this whole thing. You open ngrok, hit limits, get a random URL, and now what should have taken 10 seconds just broke everything. Or worse, you need to share something with one person, but you don't want to make it public. This is Zrok. It's an open source alternative to ngrok with zero trust built on OpenZiti. And now more devs are switching because it fixes the part of tunneling that actually sucks. So what is Zrok? Basically, it lets you share your local app, filers, or even TCP and UDP services publicly or privately without opening ports, touching a router, or needing a public IP. And everything is end-to-end encrypted. So the idea is you can expose what you need without exposing more than you actually need. It's free, it's self-hostable, and because it's built on zero trust mesh, your traffic doesn't touch the public internet unless you want it to. But it's also just smoother, which I like. Things like custom domains, better performance, and new UI. But none of that actually matters if it's not fast, so let me show you. If you enjoy open source tools and coding tips to speed up your workflow, be sure to subscribe to the Better Stack channel. We have videos coming out all the time. All right, clean setup. I've got a simple Next.js app running on localhost. Nothing crazy, just basic, just the default page. So you'd expect this to take a few steps, right? Ports, configs, maybe some setup, but watch this. First, I make sure my Zrok environment is enabled. That's the one-time setup with Zrok enable. Then I can run one command right here. That's really it. There's no config files, no extra setup, and instantly you get a public HTTPS URL. I can open it here, and yeah, it just works. The app is live on the internet. There's no port forwarding, there's no firewall changes, so at this point it's public, but also this is where things can start to go wrong, so let's stop that. Control C. Now let's do the version most devs actually want. Zrok share private local host. Same app, same machine, but now completely different behavior. Instead of a public URL, we get a token. And this is the major difference here. Because now access isn't opened, it's actually granted by using this token. So anyone I trust can run Zrok access private with my token that I've given them, and then only then they can get in. No bots scanning your endpoint, no random traffic hitting your app, nothing like this. It's just controlled access. So instead of exposing your app, you selectively allowed access to it based on who you want, and that's the big difference between these two. And it's not just apps. Same idea works for files and folders too. I can share entire directories as a browsable drive with backend mode drive. It's not just tunneling, it's controlled sharing. That's what Zrok is really giving us. Now, why does all this even matter? Because most tunneling tools force you into trade-offs. ngrok is polished, but the free tier is tight. Cloudflare tunnels are awesome, but they come with setup and extra steps. Tailscale is great, but can feel like overkill if you just want a quick share. So you end up choosing between speed, privacy, and control, and that's the problem Zrok solves. There's no firewall setup. Brilliant. There's no NAT issues. Okay, cool. Private sharing is actually private. That's what we want here. UDP support for things like game servers, VoIP, IoT, and built-in file sharing. This is everyday dev work. Webhook testing, right? All of this stuff is really good that we can use Zrok for. So real quick, let's look at Zrok versus ngrok. ngrok feels like a polished product because honestly it is. Zrok feels like a tool you actually own. That's the major difference. ngrok is proprietary, okay? Zrok is open source. It's self-hostable. If you care about control and privacy, that's huge. Then there's private sharing. Now, in ngrok, it's more of an add-on. Okay, it's not integrated. In Zrok, it's part of the core idea behind everything. The protocols matter too. ngrok mostly focuses on HTTP and TCP. Zrok supports both of those while also supporting UDP. Now, to be fair, ngrok still has request, replay, and inspection. Zrok doesn't, and that can actually matter. Zrok is good, it's not perfect. People like it because it feels simple. It's privacy first, that's huge, and if you self host it, you get full control over everything. Then it still comes with trade offs, just like any open source tool. There's a learning curve if you go deeper, especially on the self hosting side of things. There's no built in request inspection like ngrok, and depending on your setup, you might notice a bit of latency. But even with those downsides for most devs, it's still a better fit. So is Zrock worth it? Well, that's sort of the question here. If your pain is sharing something quickly, yeah, it's definitely worth it, especially if we don't have to give up control or privacy. Zrock solves that. If you enjoy open source coding tools and tips like this, be sure to subscribe to the Better Stack channel. We'll see you in another video.